Hi, my name's Dr. Ross Hauser. Welcome to the Hauser Neck Center here in Fort Myers, Florida. I'm here again interviewing one of our amazing patients, Jovana from, you said El Paso? And then you're here for your third prolotherapy visit, right? And just thank you for being here. And your case is actually very unique. So how old are you, if I can ask?
28.
And you have already had strokes, right?
3 mini strokes that we didn't know they were mini strokes.
So I thought, it'd just be good to hear your story and then, how the care here has helped you with your symptoms. So you were fine until a year ago or 2 years ago?
I always had some anxiety opposed to my twin sister.
She doesn't have any anxiety?
No, not really.
Okay.
And I got COVID summer of 2021.
Okay.
And after that, I did notice I was feeling a little weird. But around 6 months after I got COVID in the gym, I was doing a leg press and I felt like a tear, something literally tore here. Now I know it was my tendon probably. And then after that, I just felt like I was walking on a boat when I was just standing normal. Headaches every day. My head felt so fuzzy. At night, I couldn't read. I would be on Twitter and I would have to read a tweet 5 times because it didn't make sense. I didn't know what I was reading. And my first mini stroke, I was in yoga because I used to love to go to yoga. I would go 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And I was doing a downward dog. And then I just felt my right side go numb and I collapsed. But I thought maybe I just hadn't had enough food that day. So I started going to a chiropractor. I thought I had a pinched nerve and they would do manual manipulation with my head. And 2 times after my chiropractor sessions, 24 hours later, I had 2 mini strokes until I was oh my goodness, I think the adjustments are making me have these weird. So I was in the ER twice. And the neurologist, she was like, you just have anxiety, get over it, here's some anxiety pills. And I was so sad that day, that was just horrible because I knew there was something wrong. And then I started Googling and then I found your videos and now I'm in one, so that's crazy. Yeah.
No, but we appreciate, so then what were the symptoms that you went to the ER for? Because you said mini strokes, so there must have been some significant symptom that caused you to be so worried that you would go to the ER.
Yeah, the first time I went to the ER I was like, whoa, this is serious. I was driving down a highway and then I just felt a heat flash overcome me and then my eyes kind of dilated and I felt like I was kind of going blind. And I had my dog with me. I was like, I'm gonna kill us both. What's going on? And then I kind of gathered myself to pull over. But I was I couldn't really feel my arms and I was shaking. But by the time the paramedics got there, they're like, you had an anxiety attack while you were driving. And I was like, what? But while that was happening, I felt so much pain on my neck. And now that I've analyzed it, it felt like someone passed scissors through my neck. So I guess the little bit of my tendons that were still holding my head up, that was the last straw for them. And I felt someone so that's when I thought something's wrong with my neck.
Okay, what about the second time?
The second time I was just watching a movie on the couch with my sister and I was leaning on her legs.
Yeah.
And when I got up, my whole right side went numb again. And she saw it. I was like, it's happening. And she started just freaking out. So that was the second time we went to the ER.
Okay. And then were the MRIs okay?
They didn't want to do an MRI of my neck for some reason.
They did an MRI of your brain?
Of my brain, and the neurologist was like, everything's fine, you're crazy, basically. So I kind of went home really discouraged.
There must have been some symptoms that you wanted help with, when you came here. So what were the symptoms that were that drove you to come here? Mostly
I wasn't able to sleep for some reason. I would just fall asleep, but I felt like I was falling. I would have these jolts.
Jolts in the body or jolts in the brain?
Kind of in the brain, but they felt
I just call them brain zaps. Like you were getting brain zaps.
Strange. And of course the mini strokes, not knowing if that was going to happen again. Just fuzziness, headaches, vision problems, especially my right eye. I always felt like there was something in it. And when we ran tests, it's like the ocular pressure was really high or something. So that made sense.
Okay. Did the numbness in the right side of your body, did that go away?
Yes, almost completely. Even my right leg would go numb sometimes.
Yeah.
And now like my legs are fine.
Okay. And then was your swallowing okay, your digestive tract, before you came in?
No, I would have horrible heartburn. Like it would wake me up at night. I sometimes thought I was having a heart attack from how much my chest hurt. So my relationship with food was like just horrible because I knew if I ate something, it would feel like it was stuck in my chest. And after my second Prolo, no more heartburn. Like I can eat a cheeseburger now.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you have any other symptoms that we haven't covered before you came here? Like, did you have vertigo, dizziness, ringing in the ears?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't you explain those?
I would have some dizziness, or I'd be just standing, but I felt like I was like on a boat.
Yeah.
I could hear my heartbeat like in my ear.
Both ears or just your right one?
More on my right ear. And sometimes it sounds so strange, but I could listen to the electricity. Like I could hear just like not a regular buzzing, just like I could hear electricity. So strange.
Just in the right one? Okay.
What else? My hands would hurt so much. Like I'd be cutting an onion and my hands would just like really, really hurt.
Okay, and then, so you've had 2 prolotherapy visits, and then you did the curve correction with us, and you're going to get evaluated for your 3rd prolotherapy visit. So explain, what's better, maybe what's not better.
Definitely my digestive system has like, now I can eat. So of course my relationship with food has gotten much better. Just like after 2 prolotherapies, my anxiety has gone down a lot.
Do you think that gets back to your baseline, or? Sometimes what happens too, and you know this, Jovana, like I've often said, a lot of times the system was breaking down. Like what happens in the human body is you get some ligament injury, like in your neck, and that can just come from because I think your job involves a lot of computer work and da-da-da. So you could have had like the body, the muscles will tighten and the body will do fairly well, but at some point when the body can't compensate anymore for the ligament injury, that's when the whole system like goes awry. Once it goes awry, there isn't anything else the body can do to save itself or help itself. So that's when you start getting these symptoms, and because modern medicine doesn't address the ligament problem, they just say that it's it's in your head, you're an anxious female, and of course that's just degrading, really.
Yeah, and absolutely, the x-rays we got the first time, you looked at them and you said that it seems like I've had my neck curve kind of off for many years. So I think I was able to still live like that. Yeah. But when I tore my ligaments, then that's when things got out of control. And luckily I found you on YouTube, and so after my treatment I can just live a normal, even better life than before my ligaments tore.
Okay, so the digestive's better, the anxiety's better, probably your brain function's probably a lot better.
My breathing.
Oh, okay. Why don't you explain that, because you did have some unusual breathing symptoms.
I would catch myself yawning a lot all the time, having to breathe from my mouth, even though I know that it's not good. And just getting tired, even like showering, washing my hair, just my arms would be so tired. I would feel so out of breath. And now I can breathe so much better, and I have more energy and more stamina.
Like you can breathe through your nose or whatever. Okay. And then you said you had some visual things?
Yes.
Like, can you describe them?
Well, I couldn't read after a long day, which I didn't know was my brain was building up all day from like dead cells.
Yeah.
I learned in one of your videos. So by the end of the day, I couldn't read, like I couldn't really think. And now I can make sense of what I'm reading. My eyes don't dance around. So feeling much better with that.
And then, you had mentioned it was almost like you were on a boat and things were moving. So has that gone away?
That has gone away.
Okay.
Since the first prolo.
That's great. I think another interesting thing about your story is tell us about what you do for a living.
I work with refugees. I work for Jesuit Refugee Services. I guess it's a good time to promote the work we do. And I recruit volunteers around the country to connect refugees to get assistance from just normal folks who want to help.
Okay, so how would they contact you?
The refugees, we meet them at shelters,
Okay.
or we get referrals from other people. And then the volunteers, I reach out to them mostly online to
Okay,
try
so
to recruit.
how would somebody contact you they want to help the refugees, like in their community? So how would they, do they email you, or what's the
They
email?
can email me and I could share it and we can put it in the link.
Okay, that sounds
so
good.
that's a good way to get involved, and any small way helps, whether it's
So it's-
donations or whatever.
And it's basically refugees from all over the world.
Yes, mostly we were working with people from Afghanistan and Ukraine because of what's been happening recently. But at the shelters where I live at the border, we meet people from Central America, South America, Mexico.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. And then you and I had mentioned you weren't necessarily raised in a religious home, but your faith has really made an impact on you.
Yes.
So why don't you explain a little bit about that?
We grew up Catholic, but like what they call like bad Catholics who don't go to church. But around college, when I was having a lot of anxiety, I started reading more into meditation, but then that somehow led me to like learning about Jesus. So now we go to church on Sundays, which used to take up like a lot of energy just to sit there at church with the lights and the music. And now it's like I'm just happy to be there, and now I feel more peaceful. Like I can sit there for longer thanks to the Prolotherapies. But if it weren't for my faith, I don't think I would have been able to keep up with like managing symptoms, keeping a positive outlook. I'm just so blessed that it happened. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And you ready to get your third one?
Yes, I'm about to get it after this video. I'm ready.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Hauser. And yeah, I just want to say I hope God grants Dr. Hauser many, many more years to help people like me, so that we can just live better lives. And I read a supermodel, actually, she posted a post the other day about physical symptoms of anxiety. I read all of them and I thought, that sounds like cervical instability.
Okay.
So I think a lot more people should know whether their anxiety is coming from their neck or if they're just like making it up like a lot of people think.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.